It is the final of the RBC Cup. The Brooks Bandits won it all back in 2013. They are 60 minutes away from bringing another title back to Alberta, led by Cale Makar, whose next stop will be the NHL Draft. Meantime, Cobourg, first time ever in the tournament. They're also in their first ever final. What an opportunity tonight on home ice to bring a gold medal to their franchise. Welcome to the National Junior A Championship, the RBC Cup, from Vancouver Island to Newfoundland, Labrador, and everywhere in between. 132 teams from across Canada competed to be here for the chance to celebrate like this.
The Portage Terriers win the RBC Cup on home ice.
These are the best players Canada has to offer. They've dreamed of this all year long, and now for the 47th time, a national champion will be crowned.
They're flying off the bench, and the Penticton Bees are RBC Cup champions.
It's the RBC Cup from Cobourg, Ontario. Next. The Cobourg Community Centre, we're about an hour's drive east of Toronto on the shores of Lake Ontario, and we're expecting a sold-out crowd for this gold medal game. The Brooks Bandits taking on the Cobourg Cougars. Coming inside the building, glad you're watching our coverage on TSN. I'm Brian Mutrick, and the last team to win this championship on home ice was the Portage Terriers back in 2015, so what an opportunity tonight for Cobourg. Meantime, Brooks with some unfinished business. Last year in Lloydminster, they lost in the semifinal. They finished fourth. They have 7 returning players from that team looking to make amends and bring a gold medal back to Alberta. It is a long, grueling process just to get to this point. 132 teams start from coast to coast, whittled down to 5 that played in this RBC Cup. It was round robin play, and now we are down to 2, and what a story for the hosts, who have had a fantastic tournament thus far. It carried over in the semifinals yesterday. Cobourg a 3-1 win over the Penticton Bees, and Brooks, what a tournament as well. 4-0 the final there, setting up this gold medal match. Offensively, Brooks scoring the most goals in the tournament thus far. They've had 22. The Cougars right behind them with 19 goals. They also have the 2 top goalies in the tournament when it comes to their numbers, so it should be a fantastic final. Joined now by our TSN Director of Scouting, Craig Button. Craig, gold medal, home ice. How fun is this? The host team is in it. When you talk about Cobourg, who are you looking to offensively tonight?
Well, Spencer Roberts, he's an overage player for the Cobourg Cougars, and John Drew says he just finds a way to get things done. There might not be a lot of flash to his game, but he's incredibly competitive and incredibly effective. And that's what you need in a big game, and he'll provide it as he did in the semifinal game.
He was named the tournament's top forward. He goes up against the tournament's top defender in Cale Makar.
Yeah, Cale Makar, I don't know where to begin because I know it's hard to end on him. He's a dynamic player. He plays the game in such a similar fashion to Eric Carlson. He can make a difference with the puck, with his skating, with his head, and he wants to make a difference. And it seems that something might not even be close to being there for him to take advantage, and yet he finds a way to take advantage. To me, he's a top 5 player for the NHL Draft and has stardom written all over him.
He's already made history, Craig. He's the first player ever to win back-to-back MVPs at the RBC Cup. Puck drop next from Cobourg, Ontario.
The 2017 RBC Cup from Cobourg, Ontario is brought to you by Esso. The Esso brand has fueled Canada's love of hockey for over 30 years. By Nike, official gear of Canada's national hockey team. By RBC, when we invest in youth, great things happen. And by TELUS, powering the network that keeps us all connected. The 2017 RBC Cup from Cobourg, Ontario is brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
It is time to meet the starting goalies. They're brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Mitch Benson, look at the current shutout streak. He has been impressive. Best numbers in the tournament for a goalie. But this guy has something to say about that. Stefano Durante named the tournament's top netminder. 216 goals against, 942 save percentage. We will find out who the top goalie really was at the end of this gold medal game in Cobourg, Ontario. Welcome inside the Cobourg Community Center. Brian Mudryk, Craig Button with you. And it all comes down to this. Cobourg about an hour's drive east. Cobourg has about 18,000 people, Craig, and you wish they could all be in the building. It's sold out, over 2,000 strong, also standing room only. Should be a great atmosphere when you play on home ice for a national title.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been lucky to see the home team, the host team, be in the RBC championship game last year. Lloydminster, Portage, La Prairie won the championship in 2015, so great atmosphere expected here.
Brooks won it all back in 2013. We mentioned that disappointment last year in Lloydminster. They lost in the semifinal. They finished in 4th. 7 returning players from that squad, and they really want to make amends. And their head coach, Ryan Papuano, said that is certainly a key focus point. They knew how much it hurt last year, and they want to take advantage of this. Same goes for Cobourg. First time in the tournament, first time in a final on home ice as we are underway in this gold medal game as Roberts in pursuit of the puck. Spencer Roberts, number 7, named the tournament's top forward, a guy to keep your eye on. Same with this guy as Cale Makar winds up. Big shot from number 8. Brooks wearing the white jerseys, Cobourg in the green. And here comes Roberts up again. Brings it over the blue line. Cale Makar, those slick mitts to steal the puck, and he works it up ice. Quick shot, turned aside, rebound in front. And an early test there from Durante. I know there's lots to like, Craig, but what do you like about Makar's game?
Well, I think there's everything. He's a dynamic player, Brian, who can skate and think and make plays at an incredibly high tempo. And that's what the NHL is about. If you can't do those things at high pace, you can forget about it.
NHL Central Scouting has Makar ranked 9th amongst North American skaters. Where do you have him?
I have him top 5, but here's Cale Makar defensively. You just watch how much poise. So he anticipates the pass, and then quickly he knows what his next play is. That's how you have to be able to play at the next level. Cale Makar's game translates.
Nick Brakusik is the captain for Brooks. He's taking the draw out there and goes to battle in the corner. Nappin tried to dish it around the net. That's picked off. Brakusik engaging Astich Chow. As Cobourg able to clear the zone. Sassana moves up ice, and there's Makar with a rare stumble, but he gets it back to Sassana, who moves it up to Brakusik. That shot doesn't get through. Sassana now. Fans on it. And Locke will settle things down as he dishes it off.
Makar's like that quarterback in the pocket when things look like they're collapsing around him, but he's always got his eyes downfield. He always knows what his options are. He slips there, he's on his knees, but he's never lost track of where the next play can happen.
His cousin Mark Logan actually played for the team, and Mark should get a big thumbs up when it comes to scouting. He helped head coach Ryan Papuano say, who is this young guy at a AAA tournament? Saw him just passing the puck in practice and said, wow, we got to get this guy on our team. Turnover there in front, and that shot is whistled wide by Daniel McKittrick. McGuire spins and fires, and that'll hit the mesh for a whistle. Familiar name behind the bench for the Cobourg Cougars. That would be John Druce in his first season behind the bench, and he was drafted in the 2nd round by the Capitals way back in 1985, and I believe, Craig, you know the guy that drafted him.
It was my father, Jack, and you know, who can forget John Druce, that magical playoff run? You know, the Druce is loose. I believe he scored 15 goals in that playoff run. Certain things you'll never forget that happened in the playoffs. The magical moments of the playoffs.
Over 500 NHL games, 10 seasons in the league as Fu brings it over now. Cutting in, Fu drives, and that's kicked aside neatly by Durante. Jean now throws it cross ice. Long shot, gloved neatly by Durante. for a whistle in Cobourg zone. Some good energy early on in this opening 20 minutes.
Well, Brooks does a couple of things really well. They attack the net, but then they're also very good at moving the puck side to side and then trying to get to the net for second opportunities. So, you know, they give defenders and opponents a lot to think about when you're playing against them.
Face off to the right of Durante. Bumstead tries to wrap around the boards, and he does for Roberts, who chips it out of the zone. Back to Cale Makar. O'Connor fires it into the corner. Makar calmly puts the puck down and fires it back in. Here comes Roberts, 9 points in the tournament, and he was awarded the tournament's top point getter. That honor went to Cale Makar last year, who won MVP honors, and quite the feat. He wins back-to-back, Craig, MVP honors and back-to-back top defenseman honors at this tournament. It's never been done before until now.
Impressive players do impressive things, and they do things that are unprecedented.
Tice will flip it in as Brooks goes off for a complete change.
Now, let's not forget, and people will forget, but in December of 2015, the World Junior A Challenge was played in Whitby in the championship game here in Cobourg. Cale Makar was on that team with a couple of players.
Here's a steal, pass across, they score! Listen to the crowd as Cobourg strikes early. They're on the board, 1-0 off a turnover. Jamie Huber striking early for the home team of a tough giveaway.
Yeah, it is. Parker Hubner, he's trying to make the play cross ice, and just a really good, smart play. A good reverse here, and then Hubner tries to make the play cross ice, and it's intercepted perfectly by Jamie Huber, and he delivers it in the perfect spot, and no chance for Benson on the quick shot.
Jamie Huber, what a start on home ice as Cobourg takes a 1-0 advantage. And we're not even through 5 minutes into this RBC Cup gold medal game. Communities like this always do such a great job, Craig. You were here for the semifinal games watching, as it looks like we're going to have a whistle outside of the Cobourg zone. And there is Ryan Papuano, who we talked about his 8th season behind the bench. He was the AJHL, CJHL Coach of the Year back in 2013. Has done an amazing job with the Brooks program. Really done a great job, Craig, as well, recruiting players. Actually has 5 American players on his team, trying to get that Brooks program to an elite level, and I suggest he has.
Oh, it's an elite program, and it's a great community in Brooks that really gets behind the team and gives them great support. I mean, it's not just the U.S. he gets players from. He gets players from all over Canada, too. And players want to go there.
Rakusik now battling in. Makar whiffs on the shot. As Makar loses that battle along the boards. The hit trick, quick shot. That's kicked aside by Benson. 2-on-2 the other way. Brangelo fires, and that's into the skates. Bricknell sends it across. McGuire, quick shot, and that's gloved down easily by Benson for a whistle in the Brooks zone.
Just to finish my earlier thought before Cobourg scored, Cale Makar was on that Team West Canada that won the gold medal at the World Junior A Challenge, along with 2 first-round draft picks from last year at the NHL Draft, Tyson Jost and Dante Fabro. So Cale Makar's won a championship right here on this ice.
Jost, a former CJHL Player of the Year.
Last year's CJHL Player of the Year.
Also, we saw him as a captain at the Under-18 World Hockey Championship for Team Canada, breaking Connor McDavid's record for points by a Canadian player in that tournament. And you talk about the elite players at this tournament over the years, Craig. Well, here's a look at this year's award winners. Most valuable player, Cale Makar, was also your top defenseman. Spencer Roberts in this game for Cobourg. And we mentioned the goaltender Durante in there as well, and the top scorer. I mean, look at the 2 players we just have in Makar and Roberts in this game, and then the goalie for Cobourg. And the Penticton V's, they were so close this year. And you mentioned players. How about Tyson Jost and Dante Fabro? Last year, both first-round draft picks. Played for Penticton. Cobourg settled down here with that opening goal. The crowd's into it as Benson out to play it around his net. Bumstead will chip it back into Brooks' zone. Marchand has to play it across as McKechnie looking for the spring pass. That's shot in and goes into the corner. McEachran spinning it around the boards. McGuire just off his stick, and he'll race in after it with Sassana on the puck. Sassana will send it along the boards. McGuire tries to backhand it in, and that's picked off neatly. O'Connor moves it up ice now. Vachon fires deflected just wide past Durante. Perangelo now. Drops off Vachon, quick shot. That stop, rebound, and that bouncing out of harm's way. Plessy also out there for Brooks. Pretty good opportunity, but Cobourg with a full change here in this opening frame, the gold medal game at the RBC Cup. And a 1-0 advantage on the goal by Jamie Huber. There's Makar moving it up ice. Wanted Matten and Chu. And there's the captain, Prakusik, who's actually a goalie. Prakusik until he was 15 years of age and then went up to the forward position, and it worked out pretty good. As Ryan told us an interesting story about him as well, that he didn't feel that he could make the team, but he kept showing up and he kept coming to practices, Craig, and that hard work paid off. Now he's on this team. He's in a gold medal game at the RBC Cup.
Yeah, the captain of the top-rated team in the Canadian Junior Hockey League. And again, Ryan Papuano told us, he said, like, the kid just kept pestering him, and finally he showed that he not only could be, I wouldn't call him a nuisance, but not only persistent, but he could also score and help the team. And here he is, a number of years later, a real important player on this team.
Never give up, never quit. He's a great example of that as Marchand battles for the puck for Brooks in the corner. And he'll wrap it around the boards to Mappin. Mappin takes a bump, but he's able to chip it up ice. Long pass up ahead there, and that'll be whistled down as icing.
One of the things about Brooks, you watch them play over time, and I've seen them play a number of times over the course of this season. They're an incredibly patient team. You know, they're down 1-0, they're up 1-0. They just keep playing through, and you know that really starts with how the coach instills that in the group. You know, don't start pressing, continue to do the things that they're really good at. And Brooks is a great example of that.
They had an incredible record, 51-5-4 in the AJHL this year, which is unbelievable. Sassana now, long shot, that'll miss the mark. And play is whistled down. Looks like we're gonna have our first penalty of the game. It's a hook. So power play time when we come back to the RBC Cup in Cobourg, Ontario. There's your goal scorer, Jamie Huber, having the Cougars up 1-0. I want to welcome our viewers back on TSN to the RBC Cup, the final game. It's Cobourg with a 1-0 advantage. We have some special guests in the booth. To my right is Kirk Lamb. He's the chair of the CJHL. And more to my right there is Ed Pupich with Hockey Canada, the board of directors. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Kirk, we'll start with you here. This is an incredible tournament, and I love this league. I'm from Alberta. I grew up watching the AJHL, and as a young reporter, that's what I covered. Tell me about the role of this league.
Well, I think first and foremost, our leagues and our teams are here to develop players both on and off the ice and get them in a position to have opportunities to move on to the next level. And we have over 2,000 players playing university or college hockey somewhere in North America right now, so that's a testament to what our leagues and teams do.
As we see Brooks work the power play with Hill Makar dropping it off. Another dish to Jean. Long shot, and that's directed into the corner. What is the importance of the RBC Cup here, Kirk? And if there's a goal, I might have to jump over you here.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, having a national championship and working with a partner like Hockey Canada just gives our our players that much more experience and development opportunity, but also the exposure for the game and what we're doing at the ground level in all of our communities.
Fu with a chance and they score! What a great effort by Fu! Off the redirect, he banks it in, and they return the favor on a power play goal. It is 1-1.
Cale Makar makes a great play up at the point. He gets in a position, he shoots it, but now it comes right back to him quickly, and it quickly gets right back down low, and this is where the Brooks Bandits take advantage. The post, it kicks back out, but there's lots of loose pucks there. But Makar traps the two Cobourg players up high, and now the Brooks Bandits can attack the net, and they do it successfully.
Talk about great perseverance there. Parker Fu, third goal of the tournament, power play goal. And not even at the halfway point of this game, it is a 1-1 hockey game. And they're actually crediting that goal to Connor Jean, so my apologies as Brooks looks for more now. That shot deflects high and over the glass into a whistle. So obviously, Kirk, just to get back to you here, pretty exciting stuff in this final. The importance of the RBC Cup. What does it mean not only to Canada, but to communities like this?
Well, I think what we try to do is leave a legacy in the community, both for the community in terms of being able to participate in it, but also after the event with putting money back into the community and back into youth hockey in the communities across the country. I think it plays a huge role, and obviously Hockey Canada does a terrific job with these events as a partner.
And speaking of Hockey Canada, Ed Bupich also with us here. And Ed, I just want to ask you, we've been, Craig Button and I, lucky enough to come to Cobourg now a couple of times. That shot from Makar is kicked aside. And what does it mean to a host city or community from Hockey Canada's perspective going forward in Cobourg, such a great, hospitable town to come to?
Well, we love to come into small towns to bring our championships because it gives exposure to Hockey Canada, but also we can come in with our grassroots programs, First Shift, and also Dreams Come True. And through our sponsors, Canadian Tire and Bauer, we are attracting new players, and as I say, the profits and so on that come from these championships goes back into development and into grassroots.
And how exciting is this, though? We've seen it actually in the last few years. I believe Lloydminster made a final last year. Portage won on home ice, so how cool is this to have a community like Cobourg now, first time in this event and in the final on home ice?
It just gives you an example. You get the home crowd before you. You can do a lot of things. I think they were a surprise of the tournament, but they're proving that they belong here.
Kirk Lamb, chair of the CJHL, and Ed Bupich from Hockey Canada, the board of directors. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of this gold medal game.
Thanks, Brian.
It is a 1-1 game in this gold medal game as Brooks looking for more. Nice shot from the captain, Nick Prakusik. As his teammates change up, he fires it. The puck goes behind the net. Joe O'Connor battling there. O'Connor takes a whack at the puck, but can't come away with it. As Locke will lose the handle, it comes back into the zone. And you have to echo those sentiments, Craig Button. Just a fabulous feeling when you come in a building like this. The crowd's behind you, the volunteers too. You can't say enough about them and the support of having an event in a small town here like Cobourg.
And you know, when they put on the World Junior A Challenge, they had a kind of a, I wouldn't call it a dry run, it's a significant run, and they do such a good job with it that Hockey Canada says, hey, they're great hosts, and they can put on a significant tournament, and certainly they don't disappoint. And the organization doesn't disappoint, and that starts with Brent Tully, the general manager, John Druce, the coach. They had 37 days off before this tournament started, but they had a plan and helped the players, you know, understand that there was going to be some time off, but they were going to work at trying to get them as best prepared as they could to be a good team here. And they've been all of that and more.
Big collision there as Jake Tice was pushed down. He'll go for a change.
And, you know, Brent Tully and John Druce come from, I'll tell you what, there's been no better organization. There's been ones as good than the Peterborough Petes. So they know what it's like to be part of an organization that gives everybody a chance to be at your best.
Long shoot in, that's picked up neatly by Jesse Baird. Baird actually played for Brooks last year, and his head coach, John Drew, saying he'll play some big-time minutes in this gold medal game, and you know he'd love to beat his former team. McKechnie will drop it off. Jean the centering pass, and that goes back into the corner. Puck in tight there. Rebound. Nice job by Durante to stop that in the blue paint. And there's a player down in the corner. Looks to be Connor McEachran. He was laboring, grabbed his face for a moment there, and he'll go off for a much-needed change. Long shot, and that's gloved down by Durante. And lurking there in sight was Nathan Plessy, who was looking for a rebound. Brooks answering in this gold medal game. Connor Jean making it a 1-1 contest.
Well, goaltenders like to get into that zone, and Stefano Durante is doing exactly that prior to the game, and he has been in that zone during this game. Couple of really big saves, but at 1-1, I'll tell you what, this becomes a massive save because the Brooks Bandits are looking to break Cobourg, and he gets right over there and does everything he can to keep that puck out of the net. I was talking to his billet parents here, Cliff and Carol Ann Bell Smith, before the game. They've had him for 3 years. They just speak so highly of him, and what a fine young man he is. And you know, it's always a great opportunity to talk about the billet parents across the country that take these young men into their homes and help them pursue their dreams and really, you know, provide a lot of parenting for them in different times and guidance. Without them, junior hockey in Canada wouldn't be the same.
John Drew saying that Durante is a very focused young man. Works really hard at his craft and has obviously delivered the mail in this tournament, named the tournament's top goaltender.
Well, we know about Braden Holtby, you know, spraying the water up in the air. This is a different focus. They say, you know, follow the play, track the puck. He's getting himself prepared to do exactly that. Look at those eyes.
And he was busy. Brooks out shooting Cobourg 6-1 since they tied it up at 1. So the momentum and the ice shifting here in the Bandits' favor. Vachon now giving chase for Brooks. He puts the brakes on.
Brooks is a relentless team.
Makar able to keep it in. He fires it back in as Plessy gives chase. Plessy taking a few bumps in the corner, as is Vachon. And they continue that battle. Plessy, though, comes away with it. Plessy, centering pass, quick shot, and that's steered high. Centering pass in front, but nothing doing there as Matt Bumstead able to clear to the corner, but kept in. Sassana has Makar with him, and a penalty coming. Brooks about to go on the power play as Benson heads to the bench for the extra attacker. And here's the captain. That shot deflects high and into the glass as Nick Prakusik let it fly, but Brooks will go to the power play.
Well, I talked about Brooks being relentless, and when you're relentless and you apply pressure and you track down the puck and you're getting into position, you're going to put the opponent in vulnerable spots, and this is exactly what ends up happening for Cobourg. That relentless pressure just ends up costing you, and there's the boarding check from behind, and you see the referee quickly get his hands up, and there's just no way that you're going to get away with that if you're Nick Minerva.
McKechnie taking the draw for Brooks as the puck goes behind Durante. And Cale Makar settling the puck down. As he'll be your point man here on this power play. 24 goals, 51 assists in the AJHL regular season for Makar. As he gets it up to Jean. He'll put on the brakes as McKechnie goes to the net. Fu also up front. O'Connor and Makar play pass. Jean now's got it. That shot hits some bodies in front, and Cobourg able to clear.
Interesting power play. A little bit of a running some plays up high. Some circle routes, I'll call them. Changes the look a little bit when you're defending against it.
Cobourg had the #1 penalty kill in the OJHL regular season this year. as Gene battles along the boards. McKechnie there with him as well. McCarr puts it across to O'Connor. McCarr waits, quick shot, and that's kicked aside. O'Connor's got to hustle back.
That was a good block by Spencer Roberts off the shot by McCarr.
44 seconds to go in the power play. Sassana now works it across. Big shot, and that hits a stick and goes into the corner as Prkusik let it fly. Here's Prkusik. That shot just whistles wide. Prkusik can really let it fly with that wrist shot as he gets tangled up and loses his stick along the boards. Mappin. Ty Mappin now continues to battle in the corner as the seconds tick down on this power play. Just 15 ticks remaining. Prkusik fakes the shot, sends it back across. Sassana now pinching in down low as this penalty about to come to an end. Rivera out of the box, and Cobourg pretty happy just to clear. They kill it off, and 0 shots for Brooks on that power play after tying things up earlier in the first on that man advantage, and play is whistled down, icing the call.
Well, we talked about Spencer Roberts at the outset of the broadcast, the top scorer in the tournament, top forward. Well, we know that Gary Roberts was a 50-goal scorer in the National Hockey League and a real top forward during his career in the National Hockey League. So Spencer is his nephew. That's why he wears number 7. You can bet on it. Even a little bit of a resemblance there in the face.
Wonder if Uncle's working him out in the summertime, more than likely.
Well, this might be a shameless plug for Gary Roberts and what he does in development, but any player would be smart to spend time with Gary Roberts. He absolutely knows what he's doing to prepare you to be a good hockey player.
Roy at the point now. Quick shot, and that goes harmlessly off the boards. Marchand chips at it for Brooks. Castleman falls for a second. Castleman back on the puck. Real good battle behind the net of Benson right now. Puck squirts out into the blue paint, but not a good opportunity. Matt Carroll all over the puck as well, as Roy able to chip it and keep it in for the time being for Cobourg. Here comes Roy now, cutting in. Roy to the forehand. That's kicked aside by Benson. Roy, good pressure here. And look at Roy drawing a penalty in the offensive zone. And now it'll be the home team, Cobourg, going on the power play. And nice job there, as it was Brennan Roy. 2 goals, 2 assists in the tournament, and he draws a penalty.
Well, you talk about, you know, how you try to shift the game into your favor. And Brennan Roy makes a really good play, intercepting the puck and then staying on the puck. And because Cobourg has spent so much time in their own zone, having to kill some penalties and really feeling that they're under siege, that's such an important play now for Cobourg to get some offensive zone time and to have the puck and obviously try to take the lead.
Dennis Sassana in the box for tripping as Cobourg goes to work on this power play. Vachon trying to tie up that puck, and Brooks able to fire it down the ice, and Durante will settle it down as Brooks will change up a few of their players. Big collision there as Minerva gives chase. Brecknell has Minerva with him. Busby at the point. As they work it down low, and McKittrick takes a bump. And once again, Brooks able to clear. Here's now Roy behind his own net. And he'll wind things up on this power play with just over a minute remaining in the man advantage. Here comes Carroll racing into the corner. Roy's got to hustle to keep it in the zone, and he cannot. Roy, he moves it up ice. Bayard cuts in with some speed. Bayard, a very offensive defenseman. 2 goals and 4 assists so far in this tournament. And he knows this Brooks team very well, obviously, having played with them last year at the RBC Cup in Lloydminster. Huber trying to battle behind the net. Roy in front, fires. Trickling puck gets swatted into the corner. 25 seconds remaining on this man advantage as Brooks unable to clear. Locke Keeps it in at the blue line. Roy out front, fakes the shot. Quick shot, and that deflects high. And into the netting for a whistle with 12 seconds remaining in this man advantage.
We talk about the support that we've seen here in Cobourg. Well, these are local school kids that made these jersey cutouts, the colors and the names of all the players playing for the Cougars. Of course, face painting has to be part of it, but very enthusiastic crowd here. Certainly, again, I talk about how communities are so important for the young players to be able to come in here and pursue their dreams all the way through.
And Brooks trying to put the finishing touches on this penalty kill as Sassana is out of the box, and we're back to 5-on-5. And both power plays struggling since that goal from Brooks. No shots on net in that man advantage for the Cobourg Cougars. As the puck comes all the way down the ice for an icing. What do you make of the pace of this opening 20, Greg?
The pace is good, and I think, you know, for Cobourg, moving their feet, and that's the term that John Drew shoots. When they don't move, and that's true of any team, but it seemed that they were chasing Brooks there for about 10, 11 minutes of this first period, and the last power play where it looked like Brooks might be able to really take advantage, they didn't give up a shot, then they drew a penalty.
And for our viewers watching on TSN 2, we'll be on TSN 3 and 5 momentarily, so please join us over there on those TSN feeds, over on TSN 3 and 5. 20 seconds remaining in this opening frame gold medal game of the RBC Cup here in Cobourg, Ontario. Long stretch pass to McEachran, and he can't get a stick on it, so it's whistled down icing, and the face-off will come down in front of Durante. Takes a lot of work behind the scenes to get to this point, the gold medal game of the RBC Cup, and the Cobourg GM is Brett Tully, and we'll have a nice feature on Brett in the intermission as well. Craig Button, myself, will break down this opening 20. Talk about Cobourg and the great support here. It's also home of NHLer Justin Williams, who is a Conn Smythe winner, a Stanley Cup champion as well, and people in this community very proud of Justin and the work he's done in the NHL. So just 11 seconds remaining. Face off to the left of Durante. Cobourg comes away with possession as Makar has to wheel back. He'll chip it along the boards. Rakusik tried to fire it in, and it bounces into the bench for a whistle, so just a few ticks remaining. And there it is, a very proud community. Town of about 18,000. There you see the sign, Justin Williams, and the great Oiler Steve Smith as well here in Cobourg. It was a town founded back in 1837, and here in 2017, the host site of the RBC Cup. As mentioned, don't go anywhere in our intermission. Craig Button and I will break down the first 20 minutes. We'll also have a great feature on Brett Tully, who's the general manager of the Cobourg Cougars. It is a 1-1 hockey game here in this gold medal contest. Can the Cougars win it on home ice this year? Much more to come right here on TSN. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Cobourg, Ontario, and off a turnover. What a great start for the host team. Back of the net. It is a 1-1 hockey game through 20 minutes of play in this gold medal contest. Joined now by Spencer Roberts. And Spencer, 1-1 through 20 minutes of play. What did you make in that opening period?
I mean, we really skated hard out there. We competed, and I mean, that's all we can do. We can play like we have all tournament, and that's how we're going to come into the second period.
Spencer, you were named as the top forward of the tournament, but I'm assuming you feel that's a team award as you guys have gotten stronger going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor, but I have to give a lot of credit to my line mates and the whole team. We're working together as a team, and that's how we're going to win.
What does it mean to you and your teammates to play in this gold medal game on home ice here tonight?
I mean, it's great. The home crowd's really supporting us here, and I mean, that's all we can.
we got a bunch of fans out here today, and I mean, it's great.
Thanks for your time. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
It is 1-1 through 20 minutes of play here in beautiful Cobourg and Victoria Park on the shores of Lake Ontario, about an hour east of Toronto. Brooks Bandits 1, Cobourg Cougars 1. More to come on TSN.
Ode to the RBC Cup is a long one. As a premier marketing partner of Hockey Canada, RBC supports teams in their quest to reach Canada's National Junior A Championship. For more information, visit hockeycanada.ca/RBC Cup. Every year, players compete for a chance to play at Canada's National Midget Championship, the TELUS Cup. TELUS is thrilled to connect Canada to our game and is committed to helping the hockey stars of today and tomorrow. Visit hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
Welcome back to Cobourg, Ontario. It's the gold medal game of the RBC Cup. And for viewers tuning in on TSN 3 and 5, here's the goals off the turnover. The home team, Cobourg, striking first, courtesy Jamie Huber. And then on the power play, bit of a scramble in front. And in that scramble, it was Connor Jean scoring for Brooks as he slots it in. And that makes it a 1-1 hockey game through 20 minutes to play. Obviously, the power play goal there. Both these teams with some chances. And obviously, look at the shots. Brooks leading in that department 13-4. It is time to bring inside our TSN Director of Scouting, Craig Button. So, Craig, a 1-1 hockey game through 20 minutes of play. I love the crowd right now in Cobourg. It's always exciting playing on home ice. What did you take away from the opening 20?
Well, we talked about how Brooks is relentless in their pressure, and they attack the net. They create multiple points of attack, and they really get after it. So they break you down, and they make you turn, and they make you chase them. And they're able to maneuver that puck into really good, advantageous scoring positions. And you know, Stefano Durante was unbelievable in that period because they had some grade A chances and some grade A looks that really could have given them a wider margin in this first period on the scoreboard instead of it being a tie game. So John Drews told us before the game that Cobourg's going to have to skate, and we're shown that in that first period by Brooks, and Durante really kept them into this game.
Brent Tully is the general manager of Cobourg. We got to chat with him before the hockey game. He's actually a financial advisor by trade, but a lot of people forget this guy was money back in the day for Team Canada.
6-4. And savor the moment. It's a golden one for Canada.
This is just unreal. I mean, we weren't supposed to win a medal when we came here. I mean, for a bunch of no-name hockey players, supposedly, I mean, we pulled together, and I mean, what a way to win it. I mean, this is unreal. This is the best.
It's a pipe dream that came true for me at that age as a teenager. You know, having watched the tournament previously, and it was in around an era where it was just really starting to become popular. And you know, my most famous memory was John Slaney scoring for Canada, and you know, you never really picture yourself getting that opportunity to play. And to be able to go twice and win gold twice was phenomenal and absolutely great memories. Friend of a friend that had asked me if I'd be interested in becoming involved again, and at first thought that was probably coaching, which I probably didn't at the time have the time to commit to that, and it kind of led into a bit of a rover role where I did a bunch of different things, a little bit of coaching during practices with the defense, and a little bit of an advisory board to the ownership group and whatnot, and that kind of morphed into a few years ago becoming the general manager. A great hockey community that we're obviously blessed to have such a great facility here to host everybody at, and we've been able and fortunate enough to be able to see the team get better and better. You know, I mean, this is a great opportunity for myself to be involved at this level, and you know, 4 or 5 years ago, becoming general manager, I would have never ever been able to picture that we'd be sitting here today hosting the RBC Cup. We wouldn't all be part of this if we didn't want to win. However, we know that it's a tough thing. We're sitting here at the RBC Cup, you know, with 4 other teams that are elite that have achieved a great journey to get here. That's very tough to do. So we want that as a goal at the end of the day for the kids, but we want them to have the opportunity to not only grow as hockey players, but as individuals. So we're very active in our community here in Cobourg as well. We know that that's something that is going to carry on with them throughout their lives, no matter what they do. So if they're active in their own communities, wherever they may settle at some point, we've done something well for them.
Cobourg was officially incorporated as a town back in 1837, and how about this? The old Bailey Courthouse in Victoria Hall until late 2008, it was one of a very few remaining depot courtrooms in Canada still in use. In the court of hockey, we're all tied up. The jury's undecided. It's 1-1 through 20. Welcome back to the Cobourg Community Center. And the second period about to get underway between the host team from Cobourg taking on the Brooks Bandits from the Alberta Junior Hockey League. In a 1-1 game thus far. As Cobourg controls the puck, Lewis has his stick tied up as O'Connor steals it and moves it up ice. Now here for Brooks. O'Connor dishes off as McKechnie fires it behind the net. There's Fu on it. Fu tries to tuck the forehand in. He gets hauled down and he draws a penalty. So early in the second frame, Brooks back to the man advantage. Benson to the net, and 6 skaters out here for Brooks, and let's see if they can generate something.
Starts the second period right with pressure, and they draw a penalty.
Hankowitz chips and chases after it, and it's gloved down by Durante, so play whistle down, and Brooks about to head to the power play.
You know, to get on it, you got to get after it, and that's exactly what happens here with Parker Fu. He tries to drive the inside of the net, and then right behind him is McKechnie. He ends up drawing the penalty.
In the AJHL this year, the Brooks Bandits scored more goals than any other team in over a decade in that league. And we'll see if they can get the offense going in this contest.
And let me tell you this, Brian. You know, they're very comfortable playing in low-scoring games, and they're very comfortable if they're not scoring to just continue to carry on the way they want to play and they know that they can play. So it's really hard to get a team's knees to buckle when they have that type of mindset and approach to their game.
306 goals in the AJHL this year. Rakusik battling in the corner as Mappin comes away with it. Mappin circling. He'll have to regroup. His shot doesn't get through. Rakusik, the captain, the Chew, and that pass off the mark, and they'll have to reset as Rakusik brings it back for Brooks. Up to Chew as he fires it in. Rakusik now, long shot, and Vachon was parked in front. Vachon takes a bump along the boards as Oliver Chow and Rakusik still at the point. Chow now has it. Slap pass. Oh, great try there as Gene was backdoor, but he missed the shot, and Cobourg able to clear. Nice sight there from Oliver Chow. What a season he had. 35 goals, 87 points in the HHL regular season as well. As here comes Fu busting in. Fu to the backhand. That is stopped. What a save there from Durante. Great opportunity there as Fu winds it up one more time. 8 seconds to go in the power play. Wanted McKechnie, but that's broken up. O'Connor now. McCarr tries to slick little pass to Fu. Fu battling. McKechnie fires, and that deflects off a body into the corner as they kill off the penalty. Another spitting chance there in front. McCarr able to keep it in. Back to 5-on-5 hockey as Cobourg now desperate to get a change in. Long shot there, and he thought about it, then finally Durante will cover up for a whistle.
To be a fast team, you have to be able to pass the puck well, and you have to be able to receive passes. But McCarr comes right out of his zone, and he hits the player in motion. So now you see McKechnie can feed Fu with speed, and he gets right to the net. That's just a clean exit and a firm pass, not only delivered, but taken by McKechnie and then delivered to Fu. So now you can be really fast. If you're not fast, you cannot be fast unless you pass the puck well and receive it well. Brooks does a very nice job of it.
The Cougars with possession of the puck. Long stretch pass to Castleman, and he's on it. He tries to jump around his man as Mock follows up behind him. Castleman lucky not to get a penalty there as he was tugging on the jersey of Nick Maverna. Minerva continues to battle as Brooks comes away with it. Marchand fires it along the boards. Makar jumps on the ice, able to keep it in. Makar thought about pinching in and now does. Quick shot. That hits the body in front. Castleman now has a step on Sasana. As that's brought in offside and some extra bumping after the whistle. We expect nothing less in a gold medal game with lots on the line.
We talk about how you win the championship. Well, now we're seeing who's won it by province, and BC and Saskatchewan and Alberta out in the west there. That's a pretty impressive number, 31 total in the Junior A championship. You get a couple from Nova Scotia, which isn't too bad.
And next year, the tournament out west to Chilliwack, BC in 2018. As Makar waits for some help behind his own net. Here comes Cale Makar. Long stretch passes. Chow gets a stick on it, and he gives chase. Makar keeps it in. Bouncing puck in front. He was trying to find his man at the side of the net. Makar pitching in. Makar fires, and that block goes into the corner. Chow's got it. Nice flip pass there in front, and that just misses the mark as Mappin had an opportunity. Now puck on his stick. Mappin try to go short side, and that's stopped neatly by Durante.
Right now, Stefano Durante is going to be the key for Cobourg. They're right back on their heels, and the Brooks Bandits are really dictating a lot of play. Ty Mappin, who knows how to score goals, tries to catch Durante short side, but he has none of it. Just back to Cale Makar really quick, too. You know, it's one thing to say play on your toes, but you got to be able to be mentally engaged to take advantage of plays. And when you watch Cale play, he's always ready to take advantage of what opportunities may be there or are about to be there. Call it anticipation, but that is really a hallmark of his game, being ready to exploit opportunities. He's like a rattlesnake. He's ready to look for them, and then when they're there, he's quick to pounce.
Well, you can find them in southern Alberta. I've seen a few, being from that province. Cobourg now trying to apply some pressure as the fourth line is out there for Brooks. Tice, Hamry, and D'Agostino. Chance there in front nets. Broken up nicely by Cobourg. And a turnover there in front. Quick shot, and how about Benson stealing one? Quick with a glove. What a stop there off the turnover. As Cobourg had a chance. Spencer Roberts lurking again, the tournament's top point getter.
Really determined play here by Spencer Roberts. He just has got his eye on where he wants to put pressure on, and he is not going to be denied by Cord Pankwitz. You see him get underneath, finds the puck, and Benson has to be really solid there to make that save.
Pankwitz nearly had his pocket pick, but his goalie Benson bailing him out. Just over 14 minutes to go here in this second frame. Fu engaging in that battle for the puck in the corner. Josh McGuire chasing after the puck. And Josh's great-grandfather is Bill McGuire, and Bill a big supporter of this franchise as Fu comes in with a shot, and that stopped. And his great-grandfather sadly passed away last year, but what a legacy he left on this team. And the initials BM are on the helmets of the Cobourg team. And if he's looking down right now watching his great-grandson Josh, how proud would he be of not only Josh, but his team. And there you can see the BM on the helmets, remembering Bill McGuire. Great gold medal game so far. It is 1-1 in Cobourg, Ontario. It's time for a flashback, and if you're in Alberta and a hockey fan, you'll love this flashback. The Brooks Bandits win the 2013 RBC Cup with a 3-1 win over the Summerside Western Capitals. Oh, what a feeling. And the head coach that year was Ryan Papuano. And Ryan is back a few years later behind the bench in his 8th season, and he's looking for another gold medal. You see, last year it was the West Kelowna Warriors winning in the border city, Lloydminster, where I got my broadcasting start a few years back, Craig. We won't say how many. And we also mentioned the Portage Terriers are the last team to win on home ice, but Ryan Papuano and his squad doing their best to bring it back to Alberta this year.
Well, I mean, they were a real top team going into the tournament last year in Lloydminster, and they had a real tough game in the semifinal. And Ryan said one of the biggest things that the returning players, and one of the things he emphasized in that thing is you got to really be attuned to, you know, the details, the finer points of the game all the way through, because it can turn upside down on you quick.
Centering pass there in front as Carroll went to the net, but he couldn't get a stick on it.
And that's what happened to Brooks last year in that semifinal. So
McCarr to Michon, and that is gloved up neatly by Durante. Cale Makar, another example of those eyes.
And just quickly back to Brooks, and that's, you know, where you have opportunities to teach and grow, not only as a coach, but as a team. But a real good chance at the one end, and Benson makes, again, sometimes you're asked to step up at different points, and Benson here gets right over, makes sure there's not any open net, and then again, McCarr, he gets the puck right into that real good area where you can score from. It's not a clean shot, but some opportunities to attack into the heart of the matter, so to speak.
McCarr, 2 goals and 3 assists in the tournament thus far. He was the top point getter last year when he also won MVP honors. Shots 20-6 right now in favor of the Brooks Bandits. And they have the pressure on once again, led by the captain in the corner, trying to cut it in front. Nice kick stop there by Durante. Nick Prakusik having a great game thus far. 4 goals, 1 assist. He nearly had his 5th. And Prakusik, he's back on the puck. Up to O'Connor. Chow going to the nets. And he couldn't get a stick on it. Seardick sends it behind the net, and Benson quick to play it. Roy back to play it now for Cobourg. He takes a bump there in the corner and continues to battle with McGuire. Puck to the point. That shot screened in front, and that was a real nice job there as Nick Hamry tried to get the deflection on it in front, but he couldn't fool Durante.
Well, we've spent a lot of time talking about Cale Makar, deservedly so. So why don't we take a look at some of his highlights from this year. I mean, the way he moves with the puck, the way he thinks, the way he handles the puck. I mean, he's just absolutely brilliant in the way, there he is delivering a hit too. He's pretty physical, knock the guy off the puck, grab it, and come right to the front of the net. And you know, he's really grown. And again, you got to be careful with younger players that are in the stages of maturing physically. I mean, Cale Makar 3 years ago probably was about 5'7", 140 pounds, but you got to be able to project how they're going to grow when they're 21, 22 years of age. But that's a pretty impressive resume for a player, you know, heading into his draft year. And he is an impressive player. And one of the most impressive things for me,
McCarr's on it now. That shot hits the body and just goes wide as Durante might have got a piece of it. And now McCarr has to back up as the Cougars bring it in, courtesy Sam Dunn, as he backhands it in. Nice breakout there up to Jean, who moves it for Busby. They play past Jean. Long shot, and that stopped as McKechnie takes a shove there behind the net.
Well, there's been some impressive players that have come through the Canadian Junior Hockey League and been first-round picks in the National Hockey League. But some that weren't were just as impressive. And when you look at some of the, I mean, last year, all you got to do is look at Tyson Jost, who went in the first round, and Dante Fabro, Dennis Chalowski, who played in Chilliwack. They're going to host the RBC Cup next year, a first-round pick to the Detroit Red Wings. This is a really good developmental league. And but I was going to say earlier about Makar, what impresses me the most about him, he's dialed into the team. He's not just worried about getting points or into the attack. Obviously, that's one of the areas of his strengths, but he plays good defense. He's unselfish, and he just wants to do whatever he needs to do to help a team win.
Well, one of the first things he said when he won that back-to-back MVP award and top defenseman award again, he credited his teammates. No surprise. And you talk about that talent. A lot of NHL names have come through the system. Mason Raymond, Scott Gomez, former top forwards at this tournament. And you talk CJHL Players of the Year, Craig. How about Kyle Turris right now battling in the Stanley Cup playoffs? Danny Heatley, Paul Correa, and we mentioned Tyson Jost a few times in this broadcast. He won it last year.
Well, Paul Correa, yeah, well, Tyson Jost, I mean, Paul Correa, who is, just look at that. Paul Correa, who played with Penticton. And you know what? He's eligible for the Hall of Fame this year. It'll be interesting. A point-a-game player in the National Hockey League. His career cut short with injuries. But I was talking to a former coach in the NCAA who coached against Correa, and he said he used to want to see Paul Correa get the puck because he was mesmerizing, and he was just such a thrill to watch. And he was an opposing coach that was mesmerized by Paul Correa.
Approaching the halfway mark of this second frame and a 1-1 tie. No goals yet in the second frame, and the play is getting a little more physical here. As O'Connor goes back to play it, he'll leave the puck for Gene. Now O'Connor. He'll work it up ice and gets it into the neutral zone. And that puck actually bounced into the Cobourg bench, so we'll have a whistle.
And I've seen Brooks in a lot of these types of games. Maybe not a lot of them, but a number of them. Enough to feel confident that they're really settled into their game. And, you know, again, for Cobourg, as the game goes on, you got to try to find a way to put a dent into them and to get them a little bit uncomfortable. Because right now, the game is being dictated by the Brooks Bandits.
Busby back to play it for Cobourg, tries to slap it around the boards, but that's kept in as the captain, Pakusik, goes to the front of the net. He continues to battle, and it's good to see Pakusik has the playoff beard going. I would suggest he's had that going for about a month. It's a good one. Chow chips it up to Pakusik now. Puck on his stick. He takes a bump as he brings it over the blue line. Bumstead upended him. Now Carroll bouncing puck. He lost it for a second. Makar was back neatly to try and cut him off, and does. Kel Makar. All eyes will be on him at that upcoming NHL draft, which goes in Chicago this year, June 23rd weekend. And don't be surprised to hear Makar's name called. Maybe top 5, top 10 for sure. Here's Dunn now. He takes a bump in the corner. Dunn out of the corner, centering pass. And that's picked up neatly. And there was some bumping around the crease area.
I think there's going to be 2 penalties, one for a cross-check and one for a hold. I think Makar's in the middle of it. And Matt Carroll for Cobourg.
So some 4-on-4 hockey, and I'm sure Cobourg, they'll take that any day of the week, getting Makar off the ice for 2 minutes.
Looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct dive that Makar's going to get called for. There's a cross check, but definitely Makar's getting called for the unsportsmanlike dive.
So here's Mappin now. Takes a big bump as he tries to bring it over the blue line. McKechnie tried to dance in, but he's stripped of the puck. Pankowitz tried to get up to Vachon. McKechnie now. Long shot, and that's steered aside by Durante. Pankowitz fires it towards the net. That doesn't get through. Josh McGuire. He'll leave it with just over 8 minutes to go here in this second frame in a 1-1 game. Cobourg trying to be the first team to win on home ice since the Portage Terriers did so 2 years ago. Big hit along the boards. McGuire fires, and what a shot block in front. And paying the price there in front was Pankowitz. Oh, that hurts.
He took that off the back of the shoulder. He ended up ducking in and turning around, so he didn't get it in the head, but he got it right in the back of the shoulder.
Roberts going to the net. No rebound to be found as Spencer Roberts going to the right place. And we talked to John Drews. He says, you know what, the goals haven't been really highlight style or end-to-end. He's in those dirty areas, and that's where he's scoring.
Well, there's the first chance. Comes in there. You see Benson a little bit on his edges there. Here's the shot block by Pankowitz. You can see him get turned around, smartly turned around. That'll sting a little bit.
Puck to the right of Benson. Plessy able to move it up ice. Marchand now chips it along the boards. And Durante has to play it as Vachon now engaging his man into the corner as the puck comes out of the zone one more time. And it's Quinn Seardick dancing around. Seardick winds it up and brings it over the blue line. Wanted Roberts. He couldn't get a stick on it. That shot bounced and sat there for a while, but Brooks able to clear as Benson has looked very solid. Craig, really both netminders bringing their A game in this gold medal game so far.
Well, Benson hasn't had the same quantity of work.
Huber now over the blue line. That shot kicked aside there by Benson as Huber got knocked down.
But he's had to deal with some quality.
Rakusik now 1-on-2. Goes to the outside and he loses an edge and falls down. O'Connor bouncing puck and that shot misses the mark. Josh McGuire will chip and chase, and here comes Josh as he races around the net, but Benson able to keep that puck moving. Dunn at the point. Fires and misses the mark.
I know one thing, Cobourg's better be aware of McCarr coming out of the penalty box.
McEachran battling up to Dunn. Dunn backhand shot. That'll miss the mark. They keep cycling that pass in front just out of the reach of Connor McEachran. Huber wants it, actually shot it up and hits McConnor. O'Connor took that up high in his face. He looks to be okay. Got him under the visor. That smarted a bit. And a penalty coming. Looks like a high sticking call.
They're looking for blood too. 2-minute penalty, high stick.
O'Connor smarting because he took the puck in the face. And there you see the high sticking call behind the play. So Cobourg on the attack after this. We're getting close. The 2017 French Open begins on TSN early, 5 a.m. Eastern Time on TSN 4. Milos Raonic, Genie Bouchard will be following our Canadians closely. And some news coming out as well. Novak Djokovic will have Andre Agassi working with him just for that tournament. So we'll see how those guys will work together. Now we're going to see how Cobourg works on this power play. Face off to the left of Benson. And Mitch Benson could be tested here. Cobourg 0 for 1. As they try to get it going, that shot tipped and just misses the mark as Fu looks to get the puck out. He battles with Locke, who's able to get it back to the point. Roy fakes the shot, waits, he fires. That's knocked down in front.
Pankowitz had lost his stick, and then he ends up getting into that shooting lane and knocking it down. Gives himself enough time to go and get a new stick.
Win or lose, he's going to need the ice bath after this game. He's had a tough second period, blocking shots and getting knocked around a little bit. Mappin now brings it over the line. Mappin waiting, quick shots. And that is stopped, and for a second there, Durante didn't know where it was. And who was right there hoping for a rebound? That was Joe O'Connor.
That's a sneaky shot by Mappin. He's Moving left to right. Here's the play here by Pankowitz. He ends up losing his stick here. Right there, it comes way up high, right out of his hands. And then he steps right in here, finds a way to get in front, and then gets his glove on it, able to get it down that ice.
Making Benson proud with that glove save. I got to be honest, his stick going out was reminiscent of the Brad Gushu broom flip at the recent Brier win in St. John's.
Okay, I thought you were going to talk about Jose Batista.
Well, yeah, no. We'll stick to ice sports.
Interference penalty here now. Minerva.
Nick Minerva, 4 assists in the tournament, and he's going to go to the box and obviously not happy about it.
No, he's not. But Vachon's trying to come across here, and you can see that Minerva uses his stick to knock the stick out of Vachon's hands, and that's interference.
So that dynamic offense this year in the AJHL, we'll see if it can go to work. Cobourg had 0 shots on that power play, and we'll see if Brooks can go to work here. It's 4-on-4 for 52 seconds, and then it'll be Brooks with a man advantage as Chow chases after the puck. Bouncing puck comes back into the bandit zone. Pankowitz now, puck on his stick. He's going to drop it back for Marchand. Marchand fires it in. Right on the net as Chow gives chase here for Brooks. Castleman, some good speed here coming in. Castleman is going to go to the backhand. He gets taken down and falls back to the point. Roy Waits fires. That hits the stick and doesn't get through. Cobourg will change up some of their men on the fly as Pankowitz waiting behind his own net as Brooks will change up as well, and out comes McCarr. Pankowitz goes off for a change. Cale McCarr, though, stripped of the puck. He's got to hustle back. He's taken off the puck by McGuire as that battle continues in the corner.
Nice play by McGuire to skate right with him, and not an easy guy to keep up with.
Cale McCarr. That goes off a stick and into the crowd for a souvenir, and a sold-out crowd here at the Cobourg Community Center. Just under 4 minutes to go in the second frame, and a scoreless second frame thus far, and you see 36 seconds now. Brooks on the power play. Yeah, you're on TSN. There you go. Great people here. Awesome community. Always fun to come to Cobourg to cover hockey. And here comes the MVP now. Cale McCarr winding things up. He'll drop it off. Jean. Back to O'Connor. O'Connor has McCarr. And they'll play pass. O'Connor. McKechnie. McCarr. Slap pass to O'Connor. They continue to play pass. Time winding down. McKechnie tried to cut in for a shot. And he can't get it away. And McGuire's back on the ice. Long dump in the corner as Dunn is back to play it with 3 minutes to go in this second frame. Dunn neatly chips it along the boards. There's Jean, though, trying to intercept. Brooks unable to get a shot on their power play, albeit a brief one. Pankowitz back on the ice now. Pankowitz battling, tries to chip it to Jean. Jean pinning it along the boards. That's chipped up nicely for Lewis. Feels like the pace has slowed down here a little bit more, Craig, in the second.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Brian. I think it's worked to the advantage of Cobourg a little bit.
Pankowitz plays it up to Chow along the boards. Nice job there by Jake Bricknell. On the forecheck, and the captain trying to settle it down now. Prakusik, little speed over the blue line. He'll drop it off. Mappin puts on the brakes. Mappin waiting for some help. He continues to wheel. Mappin, that shot doesn't get through as it's knocked down. Marchand's got a back pedal, and he backhands it back in.
What did Ryan Papuano tell us before the game? 60 minutes is a long time, so you You got to stay with it. You got to be consistent. Obviously, when you're playing in a championship game, the competition's pretty high end.
Here's Vachon, possible 2-on-1 chance. Vachon fires, that stop, rebound, and he found on it again. Durante making the stop. O'Connor fires, and that whistle's just wide as it goes off the back netting. Cobourg able to relieve the pressure, and then two players are tied up along the blue line, but no call there. That was Carroll getting tied up with Plessy. Castleman now working in the neutral zone. Castleman content to just chip it into the corner. Sassana back there for Brooks. Plays it for McCarr. Under a minute to go now in the second frame as Brooks brings it in. McKechnie goes to the net. He gets hauled down. No call on the play. As Fu, good hustle to chip it back in, and McKechnie trying to gauge that play once again. Here comes Bayard now. Pardon me, that's not Bayard, that would be Locke. Brendan Locke, who his coach says is the most skilled player on his team. High praise from John Bruce. As Locke continues to battle for the puck behind the net. He takes a bump. Back to the point. 20 seconds to go. That shot's blocked in front. And both sides laying it all out in shot blocking in this gold medal game. Great sacrifice from both sides. Roberts chipped it and put himself offside, so he's got to check back up. And Roberts didn't come back out of the zone as he continued to work hard with just 1.6 seconds to go.
Well, the Terrebonne Cobras were here at the RBC Cup, and they lost in the semifinal, but this is what they left for all the volunteers here in Cobourg. Some flowers and a great big thank you. You talk about a disappointing loss, but all class by the Terrebonne Cobras.
McCarr, quick shot just as time expires as he let it fly. So no goals in that second frame, and to follow up on that sign, Craig, to use your term, A1. Very classy
A1,
move.
yes. Well, we're set up for a great finish here in the third period, 1-1.
They were the top two teams, and they're battling this gold medal game, and maybe the top player has to be this guy, Cale McCarr, likely a top 10 draft pick coming up in Chicago, and coming up on TSN, we feature the young defenseman from Brooks. No scoring in that second frame, but in the first, it was a big goal from Connor Jean to draw Brooks even in a 1-1 game here through 40 minutes at the RBC Cup. Nick Brakusik, the captain of Brooks, joining us now. And Nick, that first period really had a lot of pace and fast play. What did you make of that second frame?
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of the same. Both teams are moving pretty quick. We got a little bit of a shot out or advantage on them, so just got to look to keep that up in the third.
Nick, I was talking to your GM earlier today. He said you were actually a goaltender until 14 years of age. Tell us that story.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 14, probably 12 more now that I look back at it. But yeah, I loved strapping on the pillows as a kid, and I guess when I reached about 12, 13, I was tired of getting scored on, so I wanted to do a little bit of scoring myself, and I just decided to switch.
Have you been growing that beard since 14?
No, just since the start of playoffs.
What do you want to see from your team in the third period in a really close game?
Just leave it all out there. This is the last 20 minutes we'll ever play as a team. So give it everything you have, and hopefully we'll come out on top.
Thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Through 40 minutes of play, it is a 1-1 hockey game. And a beautiful day in Cobourg on the shores of Lake Ontario. Cobourg Beach, good place to hang out. Coming up next, we have that feature on Cale McCarr right here on TSN.
More than 100 teams take to the ice with hopes of playing at Canada's National Female Midget Championship, the ESSO Cup. Premier marketing partner of Hockey Canada, Imperial Oil is proud to help the growth of women's hockey across Canada. Visit hockeycanada.ca/ESSO Cup.
Welcome back to Cobourg, Ontario, the gold medal game of the RBC Cup in a 1-1 hockey game. The Bandits, Cougars all locked up with 20 minutes to go and maybe some overtime. You never know. And one of the star players of this tournament has been Cale Makar. He's the first player ever at the RBC Cup to win back-to-back MVPs. He will go top 10 in the NHL entry draft upcoming in Chicago on June 23rd weekend. Here's more on the young Brooks superstar.
Cale Makar from the Brooks Bandits. He's an electrifying defenseman. You look at a guy that could potentially be a real game breaker, and for me, he shows that he's the best defenseman in this year's draft.
I was playing midget AAA in Calgary, or minor midget, and I had been called up in the Max tournament, and at the time my cousin was playing for Brooks, Mark Logan, and he kind of told the Brooks coaches about me, and they came out and watched, and they talked to me after, and seeing their success record in the past, having just won the RBC Cup 2 years prior to me even hearing about the team was pretty cool too, and you can't go wrong with a winning organization.
We saw him warming up as an affiliate in a midget AAA game. During that warm-up, I'd said to my assistant, who is this little guy? There's something there, we need to figure out who that is, and oddly enough, we had a player on our team, and Cale was the younger cousin.
My personality is very serious to hockey, and I think that being at a place like Brooks where we're on the ice pretty much every day and practicing in the morning and at the rink 24/7 almost, you kind of just learn how to, I guess, improve yourself and get better every day, and I think that you kind of just build on what you see last year and work on the stuff, all your weaknesses, and I guess you get noticed.
We've had a meeting with teams before games, after games, and just letting him go through the whole process. And he hasn't wavered once from our team, from his own personality, everything. He's been rock solid.
Pretty special to still be playing hockey in early to late May here, and definitely going into last year, the RBC, and coming here with that experience is huge for whatever we have, 6 or 7 guys returning. And it's definitely cool to play past all the teams and know that you're recognized as one of the top teams in the country.
Gets it back to the point, Sessanoff. Look for the deflection.
As much as the organization likes to win and wants to be at these events, I think it's important just for the city to be able to watch these games, embrace this team, and have a chance to say Brooks has a national champion in their city.
It would be something to complete everything that's happened, I guess, in my junior career personally, and for this team to win it again in whatever it's been, 4 or 5 years since they won the last one would be pretty special for the organization.
Doing just that, joined once again now by TSN Director of Scouting, Craig Button. Craig, we're spoiled. I love watching the Under-18 World Hockey Championship. I love watching the RBC Cup because then you watch the draft and you get to see these young stars get selected, and Cale Makar should be a star in the NHL someday.
Well, I mean, you always look at players and what translates to the NHL, and when you watch him play the game, you know, I always say, I mean, the quickness in his hands, his feet, and his head are exceptional, and those are the types of things that translate to the NHL. He has to become stronger and have a chance to physically mature. But the way he dictates the game, the way he dictates pace, he uses deception. He puts opponents back on their heels. And, you know, when you're trying to generate offense, it doesn't just mean in front of the offensive blue line. It means from your own end. How quickly do you get to a puck? How do you beat pressure? How do you transition? And Cale Makar excels in all those areas. And, you know, you hear me say this often, Brian, I don't scout with a tape measure or a scale. So people ask me, oh, he's only 5'10" and a quarter. Well, I don't care. That's how big Erik Karlsson was at that age. Duncan Keith was about 5'10", 145 pounds, 150 pounds. I'll tell you what, if you can tell me that a player has qualities that are reminiscent of players like Duncan Keith and Erik Karlsson, I'm all in.
Back-to-back top defensive player at this tournament in consecutive years. Same goes for MVP, Cale Makar. What a player. 20 minutes still to come. See, they don't throw octopus here, or rats for that matter. Here in Cobourg, they throw pucks. That's hockey. I love it. Both these teams going to try and put a puck in the back of the net because we're all tied up at 1 with a third period to come in this gold medal game. Here we go, the final 20 minutes in the gold medal game here at the RBC Cup in a 1-1 contest through 40. It was Cobourg striking first, courtesy Jamie Huber. And later in that first frame on the power play, Connor Jean holding Brooks level. So in a 1-1 game, all comes down to this, Craig Button. And it's been a great crowd, lovely atmosphere here at the Cobourg Community Center.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, this is, if you're Cobourg, you're at home, you got a chance to win the championship on home ice. You're in the third period, tied 1-1, and obviously Brooks, they started the season with national championship aspirations, and their opportunity is the same as Cobourg.
Roy back with the puck. McCarlo pinching in. McCarr, backhand try, and just misses the mark. Great feature on Cale McCarr there in that intermission, and he's looking to make an impact in this third period. You can bet on one thing, he'll get a lot of ice time.
Remember what I said about him being like a rattlesnake? There he is. He's just in the weeds there, and bang, he's there ready to jump in there and put his fangs in you.
From what you see, Craig, on that topic, in his style of play, does he get himself into trouble jumping up, or do you like the way he plays both ends?
I don't think he gets himself into trouble. I mean, when you dictate the game and you make so many positive plays in the game, doesn't mean you're not going to make mistakes. Any player makes mistakes, but to me, his net gains are far, far greater than any 1 or 2 or 3 mistakes he might make. Because again, I talked about, he dials in defensively. He's not a player that's just trying to play one way.
McEachran long shot, that'll miss the mark. It's Chow. Big hit. Chow laying the body, and behind the play, it looks like Jamie Huber was roughed up. He's going to go change off the goal scorer.
Looks like he hit his head.
Plessy loses that battle for the puck as Cobourg clears it down the ice. Sansana plays it around the boards. That shot deflected off a Cobourg player as the puck races on, and Perangelo racing after it. Be curious as well to see which goalie blinks first between Benson and Durante. Both have been solid when called upon in this contest. Durante named the top netminder in this tournament. Carroll, puck on his stick. He's going to chip and chase around Sassana. McCarr puts on the brakes. Starts up ice the other way. Here comes Cale McCarr, and here's an example of that speed. McCarr, actually, only guy that can stop him is his own man there, as unfortunately he got upended there by Nathan Plessy.
Talking about Huber getting hit, and here is the play here by Oliver Chow. You can see that Huber gets his face taking the brunt of it.
And still smarting there as he gets a tap on the helmet on the bench. Trying to shake that off as Gene works for the puck in the corner here for the Brooks Bandits. Centering pass in front. Who got a forehand away, but that's kicked aside by Durante, who got enough. That long shot knocked down, doesn't get through. Gene quick to play it back to Marchand. Marchand and Gene play pass. A kick trick on the forecheck for Cobourg. O'Connor trying to go end-to-end there. O'Connor, wraparound try. He falls and couldn't get a shot off. As McGuire gets upended courtesy Dennis Sassana. Play continues along the boards, and Brooks comes away with a puck. O'Connor again, he sends it up ice. Hammery, quick shot as the fourth line is out there for Brooks. Roberts chasing after that puck as play is whistled down, and always exciting to be John Druce, head coach, and the host team behind the bench. Well, here's a look at the host champions since 1985. The most recent, Portage, back in 2015. Aurelia, way back in 1985. And you talk about Alberta teams, well, there's Fort McMurray pulling it off back in 2000. Olds as well. As you mentioned and we talked about before in this broadcast, Alberta, Western Canada, very strong representation every year at the RBC Cup. That Roberts line on the ice once again as Dunn gives chase behind the net. Centering pass, and the bouncing puck continues to bounce as Cobourg unable to get a shot away, and Sassana tries to chip it out of the zone. It's fired right back in. Lewis now on the forecheck, but McCarr, long stretch pass up ahead. Mappin takes a bump right at the Cobourg bench, and then he gets bumped again.
That's a penalty on Lewis, a hit from behind. No,
and he's still down, Greg. And they'll touch up, and Mappin very slow to get up to his feet as he got absolutely drilled.
There's no question about that penalty. No question.
Mappin on offensive threat as we look at the replay as he got crunched from behind. Mappin 90 points in the AJHL in the regular season this year, 3rd in the league, and now his team gets to work that power play.
You can't hit somebody like that in that spot on the boards. Mappin is standing there waiting for a puck and he gets hit from behind. There's just no way that that is in any way, shape, or form an acceptable play.
Bashad taking the draw for Brooks, but it's Cobourg getting possession and firing it down the ice as Mitch Benson will settle it down for Sasana. 1 for 4 in the power play. The Bandits will try wind it up here in the 3rd. 4 shots total. That's been the one thing both sides of the power play having trouble getting it on net as that's picked off neatly and flipped down the ice. A job well done by Connor McEachran, excuse me. Here's Sasana now. They'll drop it back. Chow though has the puck stripped, and again Cobourg doing a great job in this penalty kill.
Brooks has taken a page out of the Ottawa Senators power play from Game 4.
What were they, 0 for 25 at one point, Craig, in those playoffs?
They didn't score today.
That was ugly.
Yeah, so however many power plays add to that number. But what I'm talking about is there's no speed, no pace as you're trying to attack and gain the line. You can pretty much forget about it if you don't have that going.
McKechnie brings it in, drops it off. That shot high and misses the mark. It comes back to McCarr at the point. As O'Connor will play his pass. McCarr loads up, breaks his stick as the puck triples into the corner. McCarr goes to get new lumber as Gene has the puck, and he will wait. Back to McKechnie. McCarr's got fresh lumber, still out there. O'Connor, big shot, and that stops. Durante busy again. McCarr, quick shot, deflected. I think it went off the mask of Durante and into the corner. McCarr and O'Connor at the point. McCarr waiting. One-time shot, Gene, and that deflects. Doesn't get through. 15 seconds to go in the man advantage. Crew parked in front of the net. O'Connor spins, fires, and that's high and misses.
If O'Connor had made the pass quicker, he had McCarr stepping right into the heart of the middle.
Lewis out of the box. Gene, though, one last chance. He'll pass it off as Fu couldn't get a shot away, and once again, Cobourg able to kill off that penalty. The best penalty kill all season long in the OJHL comes through again as Roberts leaves it for a kick trick, and he can't get it to go. The Bandits, 2 shots on that power play and a pretty decent opportunity as we approach the midway point of this 3rd period in a 1-1 game, and that young man right there, Stefano Durante, showing why he was named the top goalie in the tournament.
Well, he gets right through. You can see he's fighting for his position, fighting to see the puck. Makes that save right through traffic. Those eyes we saw in his preparation have been on display here throughout this game.
The standing room only crowd coming alive after that penalty kill, and Cobourg maybe will try use that momentum. About 2,100 strong at the Cobourg Community Center. McGuire now, puck on his stick. He moves it up ice, but no one home to accept the pass. Sasana. They'll fire it down, but that'll be icing, so the whistle will come all the way down in front of Mitch Benson.
What do you think he's nodding his head to? The music, or just kind of keeping in rhythm?
He might have his own tune going on from what we saw earlier, but we all know goalies are interesting characters. And listen, it's worked for him. He's had a fantastic tournament and a very strong gold medal game thus far. And Irvin's got to hustle back for Cobourg. It's fired back down the ice, and official saying it was tipped, so icing's waved off, and Sasana's got to play it. So speed now from Jake Tice. He puts on the brakes. He tries to backhand it in. And here comes Locke the other way over the blue line. Locke bouncing puck. McCarr tried to upend him, and puck goes into the corner as Castleman engages. Tice has it now. Long shot, and that's steered aside easily by Durante. Jake Tice, a goal and a helper thus far in this tournament. Long shot there. And the captain, Nick Makusik, was looking for a screen in front. Mappin now on it. Up to the point. McCarr waits, fires, blocked in front, rebound. And Cobourg able to clear it out of harm's way as Castleman brought it to the corner.
What a block by Matt Carroll.
McCarr now sends it up to the captain. Mappin goes to the front of the net. And a nice play there as it was Sam Dunn getting down to block that pass opportunity. Here comes Roberts now with some room. Roberts tries to cut in. McCarr, though, meets him. How's that for a matchup? The top forward of the tournament and the top defenseman of the tournament colliding there.
Well, he gets his stick in there, makes a really good stick check, but then as his stick is tied up in the corner, he uses his foot to get the puck moving ahead. And it's just such a sense of calm about, you know, what the next play is and what he has to do to make it.
Pankowitz loses the puck. He gets knocked down, but Brooks able to clear the zone. Pankowitz across to his defensive partner, Marchand. Pankowitz looks to stretch it up to Fu, who brings it over the blue line. Fu then gets rubbed out, hauled down. No call on the play as Lewis picks it up in the corner. Long bouncing puck, and the race is on as McGuire's giving chase. McGuire behind the net. He is in a battle with Marchand. Sassana trying to pin his man against the boards as well. Josh McGuire, 3 goals in the tournament. He's trying to poke that puck free as we approach the midway point of the third frame, and play is finally whistled down, so a face-off to come. In front of Mitch Benson as time ticks down on this gold medal game here in Cobourg, Ontario. Welcome back to this gold medal game of the RBC Cup, and some notable names that have gone on to play in the NHL. There's some pretty good setters out of Alberta, and there you see Brent, Rich, and Ron, Rod Brindamore, Cujo, Mike Camilleri, more recently Kyle Turris as well, Scotty Upshaw, and Tyson Jost. In 2016, he was the first-round draft pick of the Colorado Avalanche, captain of Team Canada at the Under-18 World Hockey Championship in Grand Forks, where he went to play his college hockey as well. And Cobourg, right back at you. We love you too. We've been treated first class, not only at this tournament, but every time we've come to this facility. So we thank you for making us feel welcome and for watching right here on TSN. And what a final we have. Here comes McCarr over the blue line. Gene drops, fires, and that'll just miss the mark. Might have grazed the bar. Gene works it back down low. McCarr always dangerous every time he's on the ice. Cobourg able to take the heat off and get it out of their zone as McGuire chips it up ice for Bricknell. Jake Bricknell trying to work behind the net, but he can't control the puck, and Sassana wheeling the other way. Sassana, McKechnie, bouncing puck, and it goes into the corner. Sassana pinches in. That's kicked aside neatly. Perangelo is on the forecheck. McGuire, big shot. That's blocked in front. Pankowitz got his body in front. Man, if you had a stat for him blocking pucks, he's got to be around 5 or 6 today. Long shot there, cedar side by Benson, and you got to think, for both teams, you got to get some traffic in front of Benson and Durante to get this go-ahead goal.
Cobourg's first shot just happened here, just over halfway through the third period. First shot on goal, that is.
Here comes Locke now, over the blue line. Locke, long shot, steered aside as Castleman was rebound hunting but couldn't get there. Vachon now making moves. Vachon cutting in. Vachon in the forehand. Had the open net but couldn't pull the trigger. Carangelo now battling along the boards. He's going to back up, and it's basically 2-on-1 as it comes back up to the point. O'Connor dancing around his man. O'Connor, snapshot, and Durante got enough of it. Good pressure here now from Brooks. Durante swats that off the glass behind his net. McCarr back at the blue line. Decides to step up into the play. Cale McCarr down low. Drag move. Score! What a goal! It's the captain, Nick Prakusik. The go-ahead goal at the RBC Cup. Brooks leading 2-1 in the third.
I got to tell you, Cale McCarr makes a brilliant, brilliant play inside the blue line. You talk about having no space and having the play closing in on you, and then you create the space and the time. I mean, he just moves around Carroll and then puts his stick in a shooting position and gives it right to Prakusik, and he comes right to the front of the net. I mean, that's just a brilliant play by Cale McCarr. I mean, the quick lateral movement and then making himself have to be a dangerous option for the goaltender, and what a finish.
The captain coming through, Nick Prakusik, his 5th goal of the tournament. It's the go-ahead goal here in this third period as the Brooks Bandits have a 2-1 advantage now over the hosts from Cobourg.
So I was talking earlier about Cale McCarr. So there's a spot on the blue line, inside the blue line. You go, not a dangerous play, right? Okay, what opportunity is going to ensue from there? Quick little move to his left, then he quickly comes to his right. Now we're going to see it right here. You watch him, so not dangerous. Left, right, steps right around, and now he's attacking. Now he's dangerous, and there you have a goal. A perfect example of how Cale McCarr, even when it looks like there's not a dangerous play, it can quickly become dangerous.
Centering pass there in front, and the net comes off, and it was Prakusik who got shoved into the net. We'll have a better look at the replay, but the net comes off. Play was whistled down immediately. As we get a better look here, Craig, at what happened.
Well, you can see Theo Lewis. Prakusik is trying to defend against space.
The man wearing the C, clutch in this third frame. Nick Prakusik making it a 2-1 lead for the team from Alberta. Nick Prakusik got the goal, but it was all thanks to Cale McCarr, and I don't know why or how McCarr, Craig Button, didn't get an assist on this goal. So here at TSN, we'll give him one because he really created that play.
Just because he's not credited with assist doesn't mean he didn't get one. He made the entire play. Johnny Misley, who worked with Hockey Canada for a long time, his son Bryce, he played at the World Junior A Challenge for Canada East. I just asked him if he grew up, because he lived in Calgary for a number of years growing up, and I asked him, did you play against Cale McCarr? He said, yeah, I did. It's pretty good.
No kidding. By the way, Craig, during the TV timeout, Durante came across the bench, skated out, and gave his entire bench a pep talk. Let's go, boys. Let's get it going. So the goalie trying to be a leader vocally out there with time winding down as the bodies collide in front of him. Long shot there, and he's got to stand tall, makes the stop, bouncing puck behind Durante. Brooks still on it, centering pass, McKechnie couldn't get it, but it's settled down to O'Connor. That's fired off his stick and behind the net.
Well, Durante's done his part, but, you know, in this third period, after a pretty good second period for Cobourg, they've had 2 real harmless shots on goal, with the first one happening just over halfway through. So they're going to have to find a way to generate more quality chances.
Prakusik, the captain, back out there for Brooks as he battles behind the net. He did a fantastic interview with us as well during the intermission. Great beard, great goal as a young man has brought his A game here in this gold medal contest. McGuire following up on the play, but it's shipped back into the neutral zone. McEachran launches it up, and that goes high into the netting for a whistle, so it'll come outside of the Brooks zone. I just love his story too. I mean, it's worth telling again. We had viewers that picked this up on TSN 3 and 5, and you know, the captain, Nick Prakusik, he was a goalie, as he talked about, and then he became a forward. He called the coach Ryan Papuano and said, hey, can I come? Can I skate with you guys? Can I be there? And Ryan said I wasn't really that interested. You know, I didn't think he had the skill to make the team. And sure enough, look at this guy. Not only now the captain, but a big catalyst in this tournament. And a great story about never giving up. Deshaun behind the net for Brooks, but he has his pocket picked. And the crowd here trying to get behind Cobourg as Carroll will chip and chase. Deshaun's on it. Locke, though, able to intercept that. It comes back across the ice, and they continue to play interception. That was Plessy picking it off and sending it down the ice as McCarr will change up and have a rest. Probably one of the few rests we'll see him have with just over 5 minutes to go in a 2-1 game.
They're a pretty well-balanced team, Brian, and, you know, one of the things about...
Turnover here, McKechnie centering pass in front. Foo fires and just misses the top corner.
Is they don't have to become over-reliant on one player. They're pretty deep and they're well-balanced, and Ryan Papuano, that's how he uses his group.
There's McKechnie now, fires it in as Foo will give chase. Durante, he leaves it behind the net. Up to Roberts now. Roberts over the blue line. Bouncing puck though, and that'll be offside as Lewis could not keep it in.
So you were talking about Prekusic, you know, being a goaltender, and then at the age of 14 or 15 deciding that he wasn't going to be. And there's such a joke in there that you see you can become smarter as you move on through, and you go, wait a second here, why am I going to have shots taken at me when I can go be the one trying to take the shots on the other goalie? But all kidding aside, I think the story is how determined the young man was and how persistent he was. Well, Ryan Papuano also told us, he said he finally came to training camp. They see him come to training camp. He said, we weren't pursuing him. He broke his arm. He said he missed the first 3 months of the season. He said they weren't going to send home an injured player. And he kept practicing and working and he was diligent. And then he said he plays his first game and he scores. Plays his second game and he scores. And he goes, maybe this guy is pretty good. Well, I guess he is. He hasn't left.
A testament to believing in yourself and hard work. And he's got the C on his chest. And just under 5 minutes away from bringing a gold medal back to Brooks once again. They won it back in 2013 and a chance here now in 2017. But first things first, they got to try and shut down this Cobourg team that's pretty hungry here on home ice. Baird works it up ice in the neutral zone. At this point, Brooks very content to just chip it back in and play that defensive game. McGuire working on Marchand. McGuire had Locke with him, but he loses the puck, and then a tumble by the boards. Vachon in there, Castleman as well. Hankowitz fires it along the boards. Kept in, centering pass in front, that bouncing shot, and Benson there to glove it. Always exciting, this tournament, and the World Juniors returning to Canadian ice in 2019 in Vancouver and Victoria. Join the 2019 World Junior Championship. Ticket fan list for the latest news and info. Sign up with Hockey Canada at the 2019 WorldJuniors.ca. And you have to think, Craig Button, they got to get some traffic in front of Benson in this game, because everything he's seen is had no problem with it thus far. They got to get some bodies in front of him. Face off to the left of Benson.
They haven't been able to have the puck cleanly either. And when you're chasing the puck and you're getting beat to the puck and you're getting beat to space, it's hard to really get traffic in front of them when you're not having the puck to direct it at them and allow your teammates to get in front of them to distract them.
Shots are 10-3 Brooks in this third period, so Cobourg's got to find a way to get some pucks through and into Benson.
But again, there's an example. They're trying to push it, but they get beat off the puck. And all three shots in this period have been pedestrian. They haven't even been any type of a threat.
Here's Roy now, little space. Luck, shot, and that's off a body in front and into the corner as Brooks able to clear. Here's Mappin now, a little bit of space. Mappin tries to chip it around his man, and then the slash up high, and a high stick up on Nick Minerva, and he's checking for blood. And this could be your TSN turning point in this hockey game.
Clearly, Ty Mappin ends up getting a stick in on Nick Minerva. It's a pretty good battle for the puck. Mappin's trying to chip it around him as he's coming in and catch Minerva moving one way. You can see right here, he can't get it. Then right there is where he gets the stick, the shaft of the stick, rails him on the chin. So there's different opportunities that come. Minerva's competing there for space and stays right with it. Ends up drawing a penalty that could be hugely beneficial at a critical point in the game to Cobourg.
Stefano Durante off camera actually raising the roof, trying to get the fans into it here on this power play. And we'll watch the goalie with time winding down and see if maybe he comes out of the net. Big collision there as the captain takes a mittful right in the face, and now Prakusik is down. And he's struggling to get up. He took a mitt in the face and he's trying to crawl to the bench. Wow, what an opportunity here for Cobourg. And finally, play is whistled down as he is hurt. We checked the replay. I forget which player. I couldn't tell the number, Craig, but he took a big-time whack in the mouth area and went down immediately. Him and Busby there, it looks like.
Well, it's Busby and Minerva. There's it might be the leg more than anything else. He looks like he clutches on to
right knee.
That's what it might be more than anything.
Yeah, I thought it was the stick in the face area, but yeah, they're looking at his knee right now on the ice. Never want to see that.
Could have been, could have been a groin. It looked like his right leg got caught in some awkward position. But I think it's definitely something there with the leg.
And Cobourg wanting to know why the whistle went when they were in the zone and a great offensive chance in the power play.
Yeah. Here it is here. You can kind of see his leg is kind of stretched out there, and you can see right there, it could be the ankle, it could be the knee, the ankle, but it was a very awkward play for Prakusik there. No intent by anybody. It was just a battle on the puck and just an awkward spot where Prakusik ended up in. And another face-off win for Brooks, too. Talk about two offensive zone face-offs for Cobourg. They've lost them both.
So situation critical and time winding down. 2:39 to go in the game. 1:18 to go in this power play. And we'll keep an eye on Durante if Cobourg can get things set up in the offensive zone. Roy back at the point. Locke waits. Goes down low. Quick shot stopped in front. Benson able to stop that. Carroll was battling. Locke tries to pinch in and keep the puck in. Minute to go in the man advantage. Castleman wanted the shot. Bayard fires. That's blocked. Castleman waits. Passes it off. He goes to the net. Castleman passing his skates. He couldn't get the shot off. But Sean, what an effort to dive and clear out of harm's way now. 44 seconds to go.
with a big shot block. Pankowitz has blocked a lot of shots in this game.
Here comes Cobourg trying to set up in the offensive zone once again. Carroll goes to the front of the net. Castleman engaging in the corner. 26 to go in this power play with a minute 43 remaining in the gold medal game. And the Go, Cougars Go chant alive in the building. Brooks quite content to waste any time possible. Centering pass. Roy waits, fires. That goes off a helmet. Pankowitz again was the guy blocking the shot. Rebound in front. They jam away a whistle. Bayard was in the mix there as well, and a big scrum in front of Mitch Benson. But Brooks able to settle things down, led by that guy. Number one in net for Brooks, no doubt.
I'll tell you what, Cord Pankowitz, you talk about doing anything you can to make sure the shots don't get in on the goalie. Pankowitz steps right out here. There's one off the right leg, sliding over. Again, he gets over, and one's going to come right off the side of his helmet. There's the one here coming again, right bang off the helmet. He has been a real significant deterrent for the Cobourg Cougars in this game with his shot blocking.
And John Druce and the Cobourg coaching staff calling a timeout with a minute 22 to go in this gold medal game. Brooks trying to hang on and bring another RBC title back to Alberta.
Well, this will be interesting to see if he keeps the goalie out here. They got 3 seconds left on a power play. The one challenge for him right now is winning the faceoff, because they haven't been very good in these situations. There's Cord Pankowitz. Just a great effort. Played a number of years in the Western Hockey League.
And you see number 15 there.
Durante's going to be on the bench. They're going to come with 6 skaters.
Look at Prakusik too there. He's skating there. Craig trying to test it out, and I think that's a no-go. He's in a lot of pain on that knee still. He's done all he can as captain for this team. He scored the go-ahead goal. Durante's on the bench. Net is empty. And now if you're Cobourg, just leave it all on the ice in your hometown. Do whatever it takes with 1:22 to go. Down by 1. Net empty, face-off. To the right of Benson. Back to the point. Roy's got it. Big shot. High and misses everything. Bouncing puck in front. Roberts was chasing it. Couldn't get a stick on it. Back to Roy at the point. He waits. Shot. Deflects in front. They score! In the dying seconds! What a goal for Cobourg! Ryan Castleman makes it a 2-2 game!
They won the face-off, and that was real key, and then they retrieve pucks. And as the puck comes back up to the top, they take a little bit of a fake. Locke is on it, and then he steps in here. There's a little bit of a fake, and then it goes right off a Castleman's stick. He's right at the side of the net, turns himself around, and there's the little delay right there directed towards the net, and Castleman is able to redirect it behind Benson.
Ryan Castleman led his team with 31 goals in the regular season in the OJHL, and he scores the biggest of the season in this third frame as we're all tied up. Sasana able to keep it in. McKechnie fans on that. Gene picks it up as he walks in, centering pass in front, bouncing puck, and Durante dives on it for a whistle with 42 seconds to go. The faceoff to come in the Cobourg zone.
Well, we talked about important elements. Go to the net all you want, but if the puck isn't getting through to the net, this is a real good play by Roy, who just delays enough, and then you can see Castleman right there with the stick. Just redirects it straight down in between the legs of Mitch Benson. But if you don't get the puck through, it doesn't matter how much you go to the net. And you got to give Brendan Roy a lot of credit there for being patient.
Centering pass there in front as Sasana tries to pinch in, but puck is set down the ice, and that'll be icing as Makar is back to touch it. So we are about 30 seconds from overtime. In case of a tie, there will be a 16-minute intermission, followed by sudden death periods of 20 minutes each. So that is the situation. Unless one of these teams can find the gas and find the back of the net. In regulation, McKechnie taking the draw, and he wins it back. Sasana has it. Plays it down low, a little bit of pass. Sasana, that shot deflects high and into the banners here, and then out of play.
See, Sasana ended up in a pretty good spot on the ice, and I think just if he was able to get the puck off a little bit quicker, at least it gets a chance to the net, but gets deflected out of play.
Puck comes back in the neutral zone as Makar, with 18 seconds left, he fires it in around the boards. Jesse Baird there to play it, kept in by Sasana. That shot knocked down in front neatly. Maybe one last chance with 5 seconds remaining. Baird loses the handle. And in 2017 at the RBC Cup, we are going to overtime. And the sold-out crowd here at the Cobourg Community Center getting their money's worth. Ryan Papuano can only walk off knowing how close he was to winning his second RBC Cup behind the bench. Unbelievable stuff here in Cobourg. And more to come. Overtime on the way right here on TSN. Stick around. Talk about a big-time goal when they needed it the most. In the final seconds, Ryan Castleman tying it up as Cobourg has pulled level with Brooks in this gold medal game. Ryan Castleman now joins us, and Ryan, obviously, wow, situation was critical. Take me through that goal in the dying seconds.
Yeah, I mean, we got a quick shot on net and missed the net, and then I don't even know how it got back to the point again, and somehow I had my head down and just battling for position and managed to somehow tip that one in.
You have the top goalie in the tournament. I saw when you were down, he came over during a TV timeout and he gave the whole bench a pep talk. What has he meant to your team?
He is an unbelievable inspiration, and he just told us we can do it, we can do it, and we can do it, and we friggin' did it, and it felt great.
How do you wrap this up on home ice in overtime? What needs to be done?
I mean, just pucks to the net, and we got to keep working. I mean, they've been outplaying us, I think, and we just keep working hard and keep working and get shots on net, and hopefully we can get a good bounce.
The crowd is behind you. Thanks for your time. Good luck in OT.
Thank you very much.
What a finish we have this year at the RBC Cup. You want to see what the crowd looks like in the building? Pretty happy. 2,000 strong, standing room over. And this game's not over because we got overtime coming up next in a 2-2 contest. Hockey Canada is putting a spotlight on grassroots hockey. Hear about how hockey is building community across the country and nominate someone who makes hockey happen in your area. I can tell you this, hockey is certainly happening in Cobourg, Ontario tonight. We're about an hour east of Toronto, and what a show thus far. Brian Mudryk, Craig Button. Wow. What more can you ask for on home ice, Cobourg? Dying minutes to get the goal, courtesy Ryan Castleman. The place goes off. Really exciting RBC Cup final.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Cobourg didn't have very much going at all in the third period, but they picked the best time. But as we go back early in the game, right off the bat here, Huber makes a really good play, then gets open for the return pass from McEachern. But then this real good play, it kind of pinballs around the net, and Durante really does have a chance on it. This is a great play by Cale Makar. Gets it down to Perkusic, and Perkusic comes right to the front of the net. And now they have the lead, but late in the game with the goalie pulled, Brennan Roy makes a real nice play, and there's Castleman just off to the left of Benson, and he redirects it behind. And, you know, you're right, the building goes wild, and we're set up for a great finish here.
Stefano Durante was named the tournament's top goalie, but you can lead in lots of ways. And one thing we talked about with Ryan in the intermission there, he went over to the bench when they were down 2-1, and he said, guys, we can do this. We got this. Sure enough, they get the goal. And he's done his part in the net back there, keeping his team in it.
Well, I think you nailed it. Like, it's nice to be demonstrative, but the key part for Stefano Durante was the fact that in that 4x6, he was brilliant. I mean, he was challenged in a lot of different ways. He had to, even at 2-1 when they were behind, he was called upon to make a couple of saves, because if it becomes 3-1, I don't think there's any chance for Cobourg. So, you know, he has been stellar back there. He's been competitive, and in the sense of the inspiration, obviously provided that as well.
So a couple nice little storylines here. Brooks looking for redemption from last year when they lost out in the semifinal in Lloydminster, Alberta. Meantime, the host team trying to win at home for the first time since the Portage Terriers 2 years ago in 2015. This young man, he's ready for some overtime, we think, or maybe a nap. Nah, he's ready for overtime. So are we. It's 2-2 between Brooks and Cobourg on TSN. Welcome back to Cobourg, Ontario. Just a reminder for all the news, stats, and stories when it comes to Team Canada, just go to the website on your screen. And sadly, that's what Team Canada was feeling like today at the World Hockey Championship, losing to Sweden in that shootout. One of the teams here at the RBC Cup is going home very happy. This is the 5th overtime all time at the RBC. The last in 2014 when it was Yorkton coming out on top, victorious in a 4-3 final. And here in 2017, between Cobourg and Brooks, we are one goal away from deciding a winner. And both goalies have been absolutely fantastic. what can you say about Mitch Benson? He's been very strong, and look at that man right there wearing the C. It'll be interesting to see if Nick Rakusa can go. He looked to have a knee injury, was on the bench getting some treatment, and we just talked about this guy, Stefano Durante. He's been fabulous, so we'll keep an eye on the captain, though, number 15 for Brooks, Nick Rakusic. He was the guy who scored that second goal for Brooks to give them the lead momentarily, and he'd be a big loss if he's not on the ice in this OT, Craig. So the captain, obviously the heart and soul of this team. And it's got to be tough, though, and he said it, too, in one of his intermission interviews. This is the final 20 minutes we're going to play together as a team. Obviously, a little extra time here in OT. And we'll keep an eye on him. And this man has been there before. Ryan Papuano won it all back in 2013. The AJHL, CJHL Coach of the Year back in 2013. And this is fun. It's supposed to be. It's fun for us. Obviously, the heartbeats are racing a little faster on the ice, Craig, but what more could you ask for?
Next goal will make a champion out of one of these teams.
So away we go in this overtime. Fu racing after the puck. Drops it off for Gene. Gene, quick shot and an early test for Durante in this overtime frame. He swallows it up for a whistle.
And again, attacking the net. They're on the puck and attack the net. Real good play along the boards here. Win position. Next guy on it. Fu makes a real good play, and then Gene right to the net. They attack. They're not interested in playing outside the dots.
Face-off controlled and back to the point for Sasana. Sends it down low, bouncing puck into the corner as Gene gives chase. McCarr back to the blue line. He's quick to fire it back in. Fu with a nice move. Tried to go to the forehand and cut in front, but that was intercepted nicely. And here comes Spencer Roberts.
He didn't get the red line, so it's going to be icing. Sasana made a really good play holding his position in front of the red line. And Spencer Roberts wasn't able to gain it. Now it's an icing, and Perkusic comes out to take this face-off.
High bouncing puck off that draw, and it's played neatly to McCarr as Sasana had to be careful. Roy now behind his own net. Fires it high off the glass, and bouncing puck comes to the neutral zone as Castleman's got it now. The man who tied things up late in the third frame, Castleman. Oh, he wouldn't give for another goal in this gold medal game. Chow stops, chips it in as Roshan chasing behind the net. Durante, nice job to play it along the boards. McGuire in a battle for the puck. Centering pass to Locke, and it bounces over his stick. Nice dangle there inside. Bayer cutting in. He couldn't get through. Roshan chips it along the boards. That's fired up, and Cobourg content to change a few men on as Jake Tice. He'll also change up as he was pursuing that puck. That's picked off in the neutral zone. McKechnie trying to chip it over the blue line. He continues to chase and knocks it down briefly. Bayard able to settle down the bouncing puck. Bricknell, long shot, deflects into the corner. Bricknell goes to engage for that puck, and he gets it on his stick. Minerva wanted it. Long shot, steered easily by Benson into the corner.
Cobourg player down behind the net.
And hopefully not serious, as they're falling pretty quickly here in this gold medal game.
Daniel McKittrick. It looks like it's...
Plessy hit him there.
Right on the legs, too. It looks like a leg injury. See where he kind of gets right there underneath him and then falling on behind him. Right there. Maybe not the legs. Hard to tell.
Hard collision regardless with
Ended
Nathan
up in a
Plessy
tough
behind the
spot.
net. Yep. And the crowd responds as he is up to his skates.
Sure. I don't know.
Hard to say if it's lower body or maybe a head injury.
They got a pretty good grip on him.
So hopefully Daniel McKittrick is okay. Both teams losing key players as he's likely going to go right to the dressing room for attention. We saw the captain for Brooks, Nick Pakusik, hurting his knee. He is still on the bench, but haven't seen him out yet in this overtime frame as we're back underway here. McKechnie lost his stick as O'Connor's got it now back in the bandit zone. Makar moves out of ice and Jean in pursuit of the puck. Durante left it for his defenseman. Bumstead moves it up ice and that'll be icing. Kind of a slow pace so far in this OT. Great history at the RBC Cup if you're just joining our coverage. It's the 47th edition. It's been called the RBC Cup since 1996. It features the 4 regional representatives. Obviously the host team is in as well. It was a best of 7 series for a few years. And this year, it's a winner take all. 5 teams began the quest in a round robin format. Actually, these teams met back on Thursday, and it was a victory for Cobourg. But that being said, Brooks was resting a number of their players.
Ryan Papuano, he had waited to see what the afternoon game was, and he decided that it was better to give some of his top players, all of his top players, a game off.
Vachon, Plessy, Perangelo out there. Long shot for the point. In front, bouncing puck. It was loose in front of Durante, but it was whistled down. The ref lost sight of it, and it was just sitting there in the blue paint.
The referee from the corner was in front of Durante, and he clearly couldn't see the puck. And once he lost sight of it, but Makar just kind of moves, keeps the puck alive, and then right there, pretty good shot through traffic.
Vachon was there, right on the doorstep, looking for that rebound. Face off again to the left of Durante. Chipped up ice, and here comes McGuire. McGuire, backhand. Makar was with him, and that's gloved easily by Benson. And good news as we see number 14, Daniel McKittrick, back on the bench. So we'll see if he's back on the ice for this OT frame. Face off to the left of Benson. Locke and McKechnie squaring up for this face-off. Back to the point for Busby. McGuire spins and fires, but that goes back to the boards. Locke, cross-ice pass. And that doesn't get through as Jean put the body down. Centering pass in front, off the goal, and rebound. 2 nice saves there from Benson. Roy battling for the puck. He gives him then an extra couple shots.
That was a pretty good battle on the puck by Cale Makar to win it so they can get out of their zone.
2 tough angle shots, and
it slipped through.
Durante got a piece. He got enough.
Through that. Well, I don't think he got any of it, but it slipped through. It was going wide, but I think he was trying to stop it.
Perangelo tries to chip it out of the zone. Here comes Hamry. Hamry has to put the brakes on. He's stripped of the puck. Hamry back on it. Sends it back to Marchand and back into Cobourg zone. Perangelo spins and fires. It goes back into the corner. As the 4th line here for Brooks, trying to get some offensive pressure going. Sassana quickly back and played along the boards. Dished up for Tice. Tice will chip it in and he'll change off. fresh men out there for the Brooks Bandits. Chow giving chase now. Pankowitz, who's had a big game defensively, blocking shots, getting his body in front of the puck, laying checks. Had a strong game here thus far for Brooks in this gold medal final. Chow has Mappin with him. Vachon out front. Mappin drops for Chow. Mappin goes to the front of the net. Here's Makar now. Makar, oh, the moves. Makar, puck on a stick, fires and it doesn't get through. Magic Makar was trying to make something happen. And now a foot race the other way as Roberts comes in, gets hauled down. Stick goes flying. No call, and the boos rain out here in Cobourg. Neat little shot, rebound in front. Thankfully Cobourg there as Busby picks it up. Busby flips it into the corner. He's going to chase after it. Has McKechnie on him. It's 13 on 13 in the corner. Castleman with a goal in this game, battling behind the nets. He had the game-tying goal, and he gets roughed up behind the play. That shot kicked aside. Jean chasing after it, and Plessy's got to back up. Just a reminder, there is no TV timeouts here in overtime at the RBC Cup, the 2017 edition.
Well, here's an opportunity for Cale Makar. And again, the stop and start explosive quickness. He just stops and then he's got an idea where exactly he wants to go. Shot gets redirected. And then here's that play with Spencer Roberts. Crowd was clamoring for a penalty, but none forthcoming.
Shot 7-4 Brooks in this overtime session thus far as Tice bangs his man along the corner, tries to battle for that puck. Makar back at the point, able to keep it in quickly with those hands and fires it down. Makar backpedaling, has Castleman on him. Carangelo tried to go off the boards, but Busby there, and he fires it in. Goes off the netting behind Benson, who doesn't see it. And Makar neatly just picks the puck off the mesh, puts it on his stick. Just over 13 minutes to go in this first overtime. Chow able to get a stick on that as Carangelo races in. High shot actually hits the ceiling here, the low ceiling at the Cobourg Community Center for a whistle. Any gut feelings, Craig, on what you've seen? How do you feel about the OT? What stands out to you?
I think when you start out in OT in a game like this, you end up with some scrambly play at times, and I think that Cobourg had an opportunity, you know, with some Brooks players kind of diving to try to get back in the play that they weren't able to take advantage of.
Chow, nice job to keep it in, momentarily anyways. McEachran moves it up to Bricknell. That shot misses the mark.
It's a pretty good shot by Bricknell.
And McKittrick is back on the ice. Daniel McKittrick, number 14. So obviously he's able to shake off whatever injury was ailing him.
You know, I was talking earlier about trying to be disruptive, and I think for the Cobourg Cougars, the more you can disrupt, and whether that be with a little bit of a frenetic pace, whether it's, you know, swarming a little bit, get your defenseman in there, even shots like this to go off the glass, get him turned around, get him chasing the puck. It can work to Cobourg's advantage.
McKittrick on the draw. Roberts has it now behind the net. Bouncing puck to Fu, gets upended there with a big hit from Carroll. Carroll's on it, has Roberts with him. Centering pass, Roy, unable to keep it in. He's got to hustle back. And Brooks putting some fresh troops out there. Seardick sends it into Brooks' zone. Seardick back battling behind the net.
And we've only seen Perkusic for the one face-off in the offensive zone.
Here's Gene now for Brooks. Has O'Connor with him. He'll chip it to O'Connor in the corner. He takes a big hit. Fu gets it back to the blue line, picked off, and the long shot is handled easily as Nick Minerva sends it towards the net. And you never know in OT, you get a lucky bounce or a break, but Benson solid.
Or at the very least, an offensive zone face-off, right? So a new group of players comes out.
Face off to the left of Mitch Benson. Bumstead sends it across. Shot! Scores! Cobourg wins the RBC Cup!
Right off the face-off, Locke ends up keeping, and then right across, Bumstead puts it right on a team. And there is no mistake. It is just a rocket that Mitch Benson never picks up. So you can see how McGuire gets in there off that puck, and then there it is.
What a rocket from Nick Minerva, and the goalie of the tournament, now officially the happiest goalie in the tournament. Stefano Durante celebrating, as is an entire community. 18,000 strong and 2,000 in the building.
You see Stefano Durante kind of give his post a little hug on the way out. He wasn't forgetting a couple of his friends.
What a time to score your first goal of the tournament. Nick Minerva won't have to buy breakfast or coffee or pretty much whatever he wants for the next few weeks here at Cobourg. The young man took 3 minor penalties today, but he penalizes Brooks in the best way possible. An OT winner on home ice. What a feeling. And what a finish to a long season for the Cobourg Cougars.
The 2017 RBC Cup from Cobourg, Ontario is brought to you by Esso. The Esso brand has fueled Canada's love of hockey for over 30 years. By Nike, official gear of Canada's national hockey team. By RBC, when we invest in youth, great things happen. And by TELUS, powering the network that keeps us all connected. The 2017 RBC Cup from Cobourg, Ontario is brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
What a game. Stefano Durante made 41 saves in the game, but the big moment, the goal in overtime. Nick Minerva from the point, a big blast. And what a celebration for the entire town of Cobourg and for the goalie Durante. Now RBC Cup champions. Let's throw it down to the PA announce it now, Jake Gosling.
Tell you what, you know, Durante's named the player of the game for Cobourg, and the players on Brooks were all tapping their sticks. They know that he was the difference between winning and losing. Great respect by the Brooks Bandits.
7 big saves in overtime, 41 saves in the game. He was the top goalie of the tournament and the top player on his team in the game that means the most.
RBC Cup trophy to Josh McGuire of the Cobourg Cougars.
They've worked so hard all year long.
They're wearing BM on the back of their helmets because of that young man's great-grandfather, Bill McGuire, big supporter of Cobourg hockey and the Cobourg Cougars for years. Josh made a heck of a play getting that puck back to Bumstead off the face-off. And now he raises the championship trophy.
Oh, what a feeling, Cobourg. Hats off to you. The host city, RBC Cup champions in 2017. Congratulations to John Druce, the coaching staff, and the Cobourg Cougars. A job well done after a long season. What a night and what a finish in overtime. Cobourg, the first host to win this since 2015. Cavs Celtics Game 3 coming up next on TSN. Next up for the RBC Cup, Chilliwack, BC in 2018. On behalf of myself, Craig Button, our hard-working crew here in Cobourg, Ontario, thanks for watching the RBC Cup on TSN.